Today we're taking a look at the 2025 Persist 33 from Bear Archery. Welcome back to Mike's Archery, and today we are taking a look at the new 2025 lineup from Bear Archery, and we have got the new Persist 33, and we are taking a look at all the specs on this bow and giving you a breakdown of how this bow shoots. Now for the speed, it is coming in at 340 feet per second with an axle to axle of 33 inches. Now the overall cam to cam length is coming in at 38 1/8. The brace height on this bow is coming in at 6 1/4 inches, which is a pretty nice medium spot. It's a little shorter than I like to see on some of these longer axle to axle bows, but still going to give a nice forgiving shootable platform. Now Bear has stopped advertising weights on their bows, so we put this on the scale, and out of the box the real weight on it is 5.6 pounds. And we took the dampeners and things off of it, got it down to 5.2 pounds. A little heavier than what we've seen in the past, but it is a longer axle to axle bow as well. Now the draw length adjustment on this bow is coming in from 26 1/2 out to 30 1/2, being this longer axle to axle. We would like to see maybe a little longer draw length option on it, but you're still getting past that 30-inch mark that you see with some of the shorter axle to axle bows. Now the draw weight options, as usual, is a 15-pound range from Bear, giving you a 45 to 60 option as well as a 55 to 70 option on this bow. They've stayed with the EKO Cam on this model, giving you a ton of adjustment. That EKO Cam has been a really nice cam on this platform for the last few years, and it's no different on the new Persist 33. It allows you 75 to 90% let-off adjustment. Now it's not quite as obvious on the EKO Cam, so be sure and pull out your manual if you're trying to set your draw length for yourself. Now Bear continues to make all these bows right there in Gainesville with a full USA made platform, and this new Persist 33 is no different. It is very similar to what we saw out of the Persist 30 last year as far as features. We've talked a little bit about that EKO Cam, and it still has a great feel and a great platform with all that adjustability. Now the 33 inch is going to give you that longer axle to axle, being more stable, more forgiving, and for you bigger guys, just an overall better feel of a bow. Now they are still fully integrated on this bow for this year. You've still got your Picatinny Sight mount up front, as well as your integrated rest mount in the back. You've also got your integrated sling in the riser, as well as that integrated pull-up rope on the top of the bow, giving a nice sleek setup on the new Persist 33. It also has that adjustable swinging roller guard. That's going to allow you to tune this bow to take a little torque out of those cables if necessary. It also has the silent shelf built into it, a great looking grip as it has for the last few years, and then the riser level that's been built into several of their flagship models for the last few years, and then your customizable string stop and limb dampeners with a front and back mounting stabilizer bushings in this riser. So Bear overall has got a great platform here, coming from that 30-inch Persist out to this 33, giving an overall great bow that you're going to want to take a look at if you're wanting to step up to top-end performance from Bear Archery. Now as far as the color options on this bow, it's coming in 4 colors, 2 solids with the olive and stone, and then 2 camos with the Mossy Oak Bottomlands, and then the new Mossy Oak Roots for this year. Now the price point on the new Persist 33 is going to be at $1249. So keeping it at the price point of what we're seeing a lot of the flagship bows for this year and last year. I feel like it's a price point that is going to keep it competitive with all the competition. And for all the features that are built into this bow, you're getting a top-end bow from Bear that's going to be able to shoot and feel and keep up with any of those other flagship models from the other manufacturers. From here, we're going to step back to the range, give you a breakdown on all the speeds of this bow from a 350 grain out to a 500 grain arrow, as well as the noise ratings. And as usual, we're going to be shooting this bow at 70 pounds, 29-inch draw length, and 90% let off. All right, so we've stepped back here to the lane, and we have got the new 2025 Persist 33, and we're going to put this thing through its paces, give you kind of a breakdown on all the speeds and decibel readings on this bow, and just the overall feel of it. As usual, we're going to shoot this bow at 29-inch draw length on 70 pounds, 90% let off. We'll give you the breakdown of all the different arrow speeds and how this bow shoots. So let's just see how we go from here. All right, so looking at the Persist 33 and starting with a 350 grain arrow, we got 319 feet per second. From there, with a 400 grain arrow, we got 301 feet per second. And then with a 450 grain arrow, we got 284. and with 500 grains we got 273. So overall, some pretty nice speeds put up, especially for a longer axle-to-axle bow. You don't typically see the higher speeds out of those, but this bow is posting some pretty nice numbers. Now from there, we look at what the decibel reading was on this bow, and we've got it at 98 decibels. So a little louder than we've seen in the past, but still in that range of a hunting bow. Nothing too crazy. We're kind of seeing them all level out in there in those 90 decibel ranges. So this bow is no different than most everything else on the market. So now the overall feel of this bow, right off the bat, the grip, we've liked Bear's grip over the last several years. It's got a nice contour to it. Fits pretty nice. It's got a little beef there in the bottom, but also still thin right at the top to get that perfect sit in your hand, so you've got a nice forgiving grip on there. Now as far as the draw cycle on this bow, it's pretty much what you expect out of most flagship models and your top end stuff from most manufacturers. It's got a pretty smooth draw. It does dump a little bit in the back end, especially because of that 90% let off. Now with the EKO Cam, you can adjust that out, give it a little different feel all the way down to 75, 80, 85% let off. Really get that holding weight that you want, as well as that smoothness coming into the back wall on it. So overall, pretty nice draw cycle. I do typically like a longer axle-to-axle bow, so if you're that guy that wants a little more forgiveness from that axle-to-axle, this being a 33 is going to give it to you. Now from there, the aftershot on it, it's got a little more thud than what we've seen out of the others, but still a pretty nice solid aftershot. Nothing tremendous about it, but an overall good feel from there. As I said, the bow's putting up some great speeds, and Bear has come a long way over the last several years. This is just their next evolution, and if you're wanting that longer axle-to-axle bow, then this is definitely the one you want to take a look at with the Persist 33. Now the Persist 30 is still in the lineup if you like that shorter axle-to-axle bow. So if you're looking for a brand new bow and you want something in that high end, then take a look at the new Persist 33. And as always, give us a call here at Mike's Archery. Jump on the website to see what we've got in stock. We can certainly get you set up with one of the new 2025 Bears.